The reality is, the more risk you take, the luckier you get. So people need to learn to take one big risk a day. Every day take a risk and build up that risk muscle, because risk is where success comes.
Risk must be taken for the greatest. Hazard in life is to risk nothing.
Take the biggest fucking risks of your entire life right now. Remember, you have time.
I think that most people, the reason that they lack success in their life is that they lack the courage to make the decisions that need to be made to put them in the position that they want to be in.
You can get so scared, and you can be so easily lulled into the idea that good is good enough, that feeling safe and comfortable is what you should always be looking for. That way of thinking, in your 20s in particular, dead fucking wrong. I want you to start to create this mindset of taking risks and going big.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to R2R Live, episode 144, not 144, 145. I'm losing my mind. Episode 145, people, welcome to the channel, live stream number 145. It's been a long journey. Happy Thirsty Thursday to everybody out there in the crypto space. Thank you for being here. If you're on YouTube, my gosh, post notifications, subscribe, pound the like button, drop a comment, get the YouTube algorithm going. Show some love there. If you're on Twitter, aka X, aka Elon Musk freedom of speech platform, then please follow. You got to follow me on Twitter. You got to retweet today's live stream. Get all your hashtags out there. Sparta. Hashtag Sparta, whatever it is, get the algorithm going, guys. We're going to talk Sparta on Pulsechain, the ecosystem review. We're going to talk about it, the things that got my attention. I'm going to throw it out there like I do all the time. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, for damn sure not a professional. This is cryptocurrency. Don't ever allow an influencer on any social media platform out there to influence you when it comes to cryptocurrency, because you could lose it all. Right? This isn't paid content. I never spoke with any Sparta leader, founder, none of that. I don't even think I've even spoken to a community member directly about Sparta. So when we get into this, just know this is just what they call organic traffic, somebody finding interest. And we're going to jump into that really quick. We got to take a look at the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Everyone's excited today. I'm going to give you that. It is an exciting day when you see some greenery in the scenery. We got $97,128 Bitcoin. That's right. We got $1,859 Ethereum. There you go. I know everyone gets excited when ETH does, a little something, seeing that, Pulsechain's a leverage on ETH. There is no doubt about it. Take a look. S&P 500 up today. The Dow 30, the NASDAQ. The stock market is green today. Cryptocurrency and stocks, they seem to be going up together. So they're definitely a direct correlation on what's going on in the markets. But just for the fact that Bitcoin, right, and Ethereum is up today, we got to get Jerome in the house. Let's get Jerome. Watch your mouth without a doubt. Jumping on the ground. Definitely an exciting day in the chain for crypto, period. Just when we have Bitcoin and ETH going up. I know everybody wants to go on this parabolic bull market. That's where the excitement comes in. You go all over Twitter, you can't miss it. People are the bulls are back in town, right? And then you go over to Pulsechain. Pulsechain is doing its thing. It went up with the SEC. The SEC got beat in court. That's probably like the biggest thing that could possibly happen in DeFi. Price went up, price went down. Hey, we got a super chat, Dragon X. Love you, brother. Dragon X from the Titan X ecosystem. I appreciate the super chat, brother. Shout out to Dragon X and the Titan X people out there. I'm sure they're excited today. Appreciate the super chat. Hit him with the Carlton. All right, so before we jump into it, looks like Pulse 4 zeros and a 308, down minus 9.56% in the red. Pulsechain 4 zeros and a 25, 10.3% in the red. Inks at $1.32, and then the HEX 2 zeros and a 627, which HEX, it's going to play a role in the conversation that we have today. All right. You know, in cryptocurrency, guys, and let me jump to the chat here. Don't want to ignore the chat. Let's make sure we get to the chat. Let's take a look. Well, we got the Spartans in the house. Sparta is great. I've doubled my HEX bag. Hey, I love to hear that. And we're going to get into how you can increase that position and what got me most excited. Very intrigued. Is this the sound that the Spartans make? Woo! A little under the weather. Can't shout one out with my lung power today, though. Stoked for this one, too. Appreciate for being here. Thank you so much, man. Johnny Johnson, LFG Sparta. Look at the Spartans. They're all in the house, man. Love Sparta. Excited for what else he's building. Looking forward to this. Sparta is a beast. Yeah, I got to get in touch with the founder. I believe I might have heard the voice of the founder, maybe in a Twitter space, or was it on a YouTube live? I can't remember. But I remember hearing him talk. I've been stalking Sparta for a few weeks here, accumulating and just looking at how the community operates. We're here at their Twitter page. This is the starting spot. You want to go follow them on Twitter, okay? You're going to go to @SpartaCoins PLS. That's where you're going to find them. Website, SpartaPLS.com. We'll take a look at the website. But that's just like the starting point where you can see the announcements. You can see the engagement, right? I threw out a little, test out there on a couple tweets, and these guys go at it hard, right? The community is very active with Sparta. So before anything could thrive on any chain, whether it's Pulsechain, Sonic, any ecosystem, on any chain anywhere, needs a community that's thriving, that's going to put in the work, that's going to put the details out there, that's going to put the excitement, that's going to, the hashtags, the retweeting, and they're on it, bro. They're on it. I can tell you right now. Like I said, I tested the community on a couple tweets, and I go, damn. So, hey, Sparta guys, get the retweet on this video just posted on X. Go get out there, get the retweets going. I could take a look at yesterday's post, where I just said, hey, we're going to talk about the ecosystem. I kind of hinted early on, too, a few days back. Got a lot of engagements, 36 likes, 17 retweets. They're putting in work. So you can go look at all their posts. You can see this one here from the 13th as I go down, 78 retweets, 149 likes, tons of comments. They're engaging. They're excited. These guys are out there pushing what they believe in, okay? They are really out there getting the job done. So the community is something I've been watching. I haven't even joined the Telegram. I don't really join very many Telegrams, to be honest with you. And when I do end up leaving them, it's just a lot of noise in Telegram. I got R2R, my own group and all that. And I just kind of like to filter that aspect out, no too many chats. But I've been watching from a distance. I've gone in and out of these conversations that I've seen happening. And as we take a look at the chart here, we're going to talk about some of the tokenomics I like. Look at the website, what really got me excited about Sparta. And I want to tell you the pivot I'm making, because there's a lot of opportunities on Pulsechain. There's a lot of pump tires tokens. There's a lot of liquidity webs. There's a lot of narratives out there. But I really am at the position where I want to bring it home when it comes to supporting the ecosystem, right? Because Pulsechain, I'm there doing live streams every day, and I want people to onboard. I want the new users. I also want to give people the data and the cold, honest truth on how I believe things are playing out. And the way I believe things are playing out on Pulsechain is we have an issue with the new users. And I'm very blunt when I go out there. I say the good, the bad, everything, right? I don't hold back. So when I'm making a pivot recently, Sparta has been a part of adding to my portfolio, because that actual pivot is going towards the thought process of, I'm in the core tokens. I have been made the most money on speculative assets on the Pulsechain network when it came to like PI, PPTC, and Maria's fine-tuned network of liquidity tokens. And I know that there was a bad fallout. Things are kind of rebuilding trust with Maria. All that's happening. But I want to support products that actually, and cryptos on Pulsechain that help core tokens, right? And Sparta happens to be a supporting asset of another asset, which is a core token asset on the Pulsechain network known as HEX. And that is Pulsechain HEX, okay? So I like that, right? My pivot is into the core tokens right now, buying the bottoms as far down as we go, continue to dollar cost average. And then when I start to pick up interest on altcoin opportunities at these bottoms, where I feel like I can make many multiples over, based off the ratios and whatnot, is invest in something that's supporting a Richard Hart ticker, okay? And I like the fact that the web here with Sparta happens to be with HEX. And that HEX, I'm an OG HEX. I got in December of 2019, right? I've been through it all, thick and thin, with Richard Hart and the entire ecosystem. And the P copy of, the copy of Ethereum HEX is HEX. The market at one point, and it seems to be has chosen as far as the interest and where the price is with HEX. That's the token everyone preferred to buy. It was never meant to be fun, in my opinion. It just is what it is. It came out that way. Richard tweeted it. So here's what I'm thinking. Okay, I need to start supporting tokens that support the core tokens. And in here, I identified that it's going on, right? Let me pull up the chart here. This token's only 18 days and 1 hour old, guys. So everyone's going to ask me the question, in my chat across the board, is it too late? Is it, am I too late? Well, it's only 18 days old, right? Let me break the chart up a little bit over here. You take a look. Looks like a token launched that went up, came down. That's how launches happen, right? And over the course from the time that it launched, the launch date, the 13th, looks like it bottomed around the 16th, 3 days of just going down. Every day since the middle of April, it's just been gradually working its way up, right? And I factor in that progress as part of the tokenomics and the way the taxes work, right? Now you just kind of have a steady sideways action. That's what you want to accumulate. I saw that it launched. I didn't like wanting to buy it here. I wanted to wait and wait. I got close to the bottom when I started buying. But I've been DCAing on the slow growth in the past, second half of April, heading into, which is now May 1st. Gosh, it's May. It is May 1st, almost Cinco de Mayo. Okay. So what we need to do is take a look at the under the hood tokenomics that I like as well. If you guys have been following me for a long time, which a lot of you guys have, right? You guys know that I'm all about that distribution. When I look at, let me lower the music here. This is an important thing. When I look at token distribution, I'm looking at answering the question I'm going to get, right? And being able to give a solid answer for when somebody asks me, am I early? Right? And a lot of times, how do you identify if you're early? Well, I look at what's going on under the hood on the chain as far as the wallet holders. And I'll tell you right now, this distribution, and my hair's shaved right now, but if it was long, it would have blew my hair back. All right. This is some sexy distribution. You can see the top wallet here is a dead address. 90.66% of the supply burnt. That's a dead address. So I'm assuming we'll take a look and verify on the site. If they refer to that as the burn address, it might be called something else, but it's set to the dead address. So that to me, from what I believe and understand, is gone. No longer in circulation, right? No longer in circulation. It's burnt. Also, the supply, right? And the supply, here's the actual supply. The Block Explorer, when it picks up these numbers here, you kind of take some decimals away, and it's all kind of jacked up here. Some tokens do this, I don't know why. So the token supply right now, you take a look up here, you go, okay, 1.9 billion, okay? 519 holders, guys. 519 holders with a wild, crazy community of people that are out there liking, retweeting, smashing the like buttons, doing everything. These guys go hard, okay? 519 holders, a token that is only 18 days old as we entered the bottom of what I believe soon to be the bottom of Pulse, heading into the summertime. I think we'll hit the bottom and start to move up like we saw the Sparta chart, right? Where it hit the bottom and it's gradually going up and to the right. So I like that. I like the timing of my purchase. I like the distribution, especially 519 wallets, 90.66% of the tokens burnt. And then the wallet holders, right? There's one here that has 4%. There's one that has 1%. Outside of these wallets, which you'll have to go on Telegram and identify what those are. What is it? Is it Treasury? What? Smart contract? All those questions are homework for you. But outside of those two addresses and a couple smart contracts that have, what, 0.5%, there ain't no 1%ers. 0.31%, 0.19%, 0.11%, 0.01%, 0.07%. This is like looking at the top 10 holders. You go to the top 20. No one owns even 0.5% going down the list. 0.1 is like would be maybe you would call a whale, possibly. I like the distribution. It tells me that there is not a landslide of tokens out there amongst a handful of people. And a lot of tokens that I see out there today that I had to kick to the side weren't supporting core tokens and webbing with them in an LP like this token is with HEX, right? I like that. Has massive amount of users. They got 2, 3, 4, 5% of the supply and double the token holders. So when I answer those questions in my early and I see those types of features, I've said, no, you're not early. But when I see this, I go, yeah, you don't have to ask me. Go verify on chain. 519 holders seems early. This distribution is really sexy. A lot of tokens have been burned. All right. So going back, the LP, as you know, as we take a look here, $1.9 million of web liquidity with HEX. So all you got to do is pull the token contract address, and you can see all of the pairs here. Top pair being the 1.9 million with PHEX. Next liquidity, largest liquidity, 341,000 with wrapped Pulse. 637,000 with Pulsechain. These are all core tokens. Inc 110,000, Teddy 10,000, and maybe there'll be more. I don't know. Those are not questions I've asked thus far, but let me get to the chat, see if anybody is addressing anything I've mentioned here. 518 holders. Paired with core tokens all the way, no PDI nightmares here. Yeah, you know what? The PDI thing with, like, and I don't want to talk bad about PTGC, but if you guys were in, I was in PTGC the day it launched, okay? And what I know is the X multipliers on PTGC, where it got most of its performance, was being heavily paired with PDI. Now that PDI has been removed from that heavy liquidity, its next run up is going to be based off of Pulse and where it goes, its largest pool, right? So I guess the narrative of PDI going to $1 is probably not part of the moon mat scenario where people see like crazy numbers. But yeah, it's paired with core tokens, and I like that. It's supporting the core token atmosphere. All right. Already a $15 million market cap. That's the thing. I don't ever look at market cap. And one thing that Richard Hart talks about market caps is you don't make money on market caps. It's not a real number. Like, market caps mean nothing. Okay. However, the thing you got to look at is the tokenomics and what's under the hood of what we've been looking at. 4% wallet is the Treasury. There you have it. There you have it. There's the answer. Excuse me. This 4% wallet right here is the Treasury wallet. Question has been answered. I thank you for clarifying that and clearing that up. Let's take a look. Maddie C, thank you. Sparta is beginning. It'll be needed to buy future tokens on the ecosystem. 4 tokens are planned. Well, that's how early you are, guys. If there's 4 additional tokens going to be part of this web liquidity, right? And you think about the fact that HEX is possibly at the bottom. I'm still thinking 2 zeros and a 3 would be the bottom. And if we don't hit that, great. If we do hit that, great. Either way, I believe we're really close, if not maybe already hit the bottom of Pulse. So getting into something like this right now with supporting the core tokens with these LP webs, I'm all on it. It's on like Donkey Kong. Okay, it's on like Donkey Kong. PGGC has 14,000 holders. Sparta has 518. There you go. The community understands. The people that are shouting out these facts and details and stats understand how to answer that question right there for you. I'm going to get it today in my chat. We'll get the DMs. I already know it happens anytime I ever do a review. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, but if you go look, right? You go look, that's crazy. There is a low amount of wallet holders. It is only 18 days old. There is the sexiest distribution that you can find in crypto right there with the wallet holders. Okay. This is, there's nuggets there is nuggets in crypto. There's nuggets that have been birthed on Pulsechain. And I feel like I've hit most of them really early, especially PDI. I never really knew if PDI could hit $1, but I got it early. I never knew what PTGC or Alien was going to do day one, right? So with Sparta, I just timed it because I knew the launch happened without me. Maybe it was meant to happen. I saw it a little late, but I was able to catch, as I showed you on the chart, I was just going down DCA and just up into the right action that we see here. So we're at the sparta.pulse.com website. I have it all easy built in where you can swap. It's using their UI to implement PulseX. You can, you don't have to come here. You can go straight to PulseX, whatever you feel comfortable with. You connect your wallet, swap here. Here's the stats page though. Little pie chart. So burnt, I was right about that. Looking at the data address, 90.67% of the supply has been burnt, people. Sparta's supply is 2 billion tokens. All right. That 4% wallet is the Treasury. And we'll read what the Treasury is for as we go into the vision, what they call the vision paper, aka white paper, docs, whatever you want to call it, right? Circulating supply right now is 4.77%. LP is 0.56%. You can see all these numbers here. Come look at the data, right? All your charts are right here. And what's in the Treasury? This is USD value. So $304,206 in USD value in the Treasury. $300,977,000 is valued HEX. Okay, that's PHEX. Other tokens in the Treasury, 3,229. So what we're going to do is jump under the hood here. Take a look at the this Sparta data documents, not the data, but some verbiage, some reading, a little bit of reading. I'm not going to read it all to you. We're going to hit on the key things that I think you're going to want to know. The tokenomics when you're buying, when you're selling, the liquidity web, of course, and Treasury. I think these are things that are important to people and they're going to want to know. All right. So the overview with Sparta, It's a hyperdeflationary token on Pulsechain. It's closely linked to the performance of HEX. So, hey, if you think HEX is going to do its thing, which I believe it is. Hell yeah, right? If you think that's going to be a great performing asset soon to come, one day, eventually, whenever that may happen, then this is going to be an exciting time for you and an opportunity. So the Sparta system is simple. It has a 5% tax on your purchases. And listen, if the 5% doesn't work, you go up to 6%, depending on if people are buying and selling like crazy. You might have to go 7%. If you're not experienced with that, you're going to want to ask in a Telegram, what do I do? It's a slippage tax, right? On your buys and sells, coupled with multiple high volume trading pairs feeding into a common liquidity web. The fees from this volume straightens liquidity and burns tokens. So hyperinflationary, going to continue to burn the supply. All right? Continue to burn the supply of the actual asset linked through LP with HEX. Bada bing, bada boom. Those are like the key selling points where I was like, okay, I get that. I've been there. I've done that. I get what's going on here. Sparta's pulled up with HEX in a pool. The dynamics and the mechanics is Hart's law. HEX goes up. Sparta goes up. Everyone's happy. What do you think is the best time to get into a Hart's law scenario like this? This design like this, at the bottom or at the top? Do I have to really answer that? Oh man, my lungs today. I'm hurting. All right. So, Sparta HEX liquidity. There's a lot here, but you're going to want to know about how the pair works, right? So, this pool, we're going to skip down here, right? The idea is follows, right? Because there's the pool and there's secondary pools. So the main trading pair is with HEX. And this pool, let me make sure, give me a second here. Sorry, I had a cough right there. So there's two different things happening here. So the pool forms the center of the liquidity web, right? We're talking Sparta, we're talking HEX. Surrounding these pools will be the central pair and smaller liquidity pools. We looked at that as well on Deck Screener. Linked to carefully selected high volume tokens such as Pulse, PulseX, Inc., SolidX, and more. Hey, I love me some SolidX. Shout out to Firewell. Good, the homie Firewell. I love the guy. I've talked to him a few times. A very good person. I like that they support him as well. So, the secondary pools are deliberately smaller than the main pair, guys. It keeps Sparta's overall market behavior anchored primarily to HEX, okay? So that, be aware of, all right? So as traders and arbitrage bots buy and sell Sparta within the carefully built web of high-volume markets, the fees collected through all that action, all right? Picture this. From each of the transactions may end up funneling value back to the core, which is the central HEX Sparta relationship. All right. So you get all this ARB action and trading action going on via bots and human beings in the secondary pools, Pulse, PulseX, Inc., SolidX, and they put and more. Right. And this is going to help that central point, that center point, HEX and Sparta. And the fees are going to be are going to be collected, right? And being funneled. So there's some cool tokenomics. At the end of the day, it's helping a Richard Hart core token. Exactly where my pivot is, right? I don't want to go and just buy these pump tire narratives unless there's something that is helping the ecosystem I love so much that has been down for a while, extracted by PDI, whatever you want to call it. People just leaving the ecosystem, not a lot of new users. We want the new users, but I'm going to continue to work doing live streams to help build that and tell the truth like it is. If I think Richard Hart says something I don't like it, I'm going to say I don't like it, right? But the assets like this that support the core tokens are more important to me now. I'm going to talk about them a lot more often, right? So at the heart of this liquidity strategy is a primary pairing with HEX. Firm belief in Spartan community, the HEX will see significant gains against the dollar over time. Therefore, by firmly linking Sparta's liquidity to HEX, Sparta aims to benefit from HEX's market movements. Sparta's deflationary nature should theoretically cause the value of Sparta to rise relative to HEX, leading to the vision of Sparta, which is HEX increases in dollar value, Sparta will compound that growth by also appreciating against HEX. And that's really, in a nutshell, what's going on between the web and the secondary pools that are actually around the center of the operation, which is HEX and Sparta. And I like how they laid it out here too, where you can come see, it itemized for you. Price differences drives trading, right? Sparta's price differs more than 10% between any two trading pairs. Traders and bots step in to profit from the discrepancy. They buy from cheaper pairs, sell to the more expensive one, increasing trading volume. For example, if Sparta Pulsechain price Sparta's at $1, while the Sparta HEX price Sparta is at $1.15, traders and our bots will buy from the cheaper pair and sell the expensive pair for a profit, creating volume. The ARB opportunity for bots running. And then you got the fees, right? So you probably want to know more about the Treasury and what that fee does, which is an important aspect because it's the exciting part too as well, the feature. And let me make sure I pay attention to the chat here. Bullish LFG, hey, communities here strong. Go pound the like button, retweet, get all that stuff. What's up, Vibra? This is Sparta. Yeah. Hey, brother. I know you like the core tokens too. And a lot of us guys have been around a long time. The core tokens are important. We need to rally around them and anything that supports them. And we saw what PTGC did, supporting, and burning a lot of Pulse and PulseX. So the fee collection. So 5% fee collected on every trade. So when Sparta is purchased, when someone buys it, the 5% fee is collected and added to the Treasury. That's on a purchase, right? To the Treasury. When Sparta sold, that 5% fee is collected and Sparta immediately is burned. It applies across all the trading pairs. So constantly adding to the Treasury and burning the tokens. Additionally, adding or removing liquidity incurs a 5% tax on Sparta portion only. Now the Sparta Treasury. The Treasury serves as the engine of Sparta's value generation. This is where you heard somebody early in the chat said they doubled their HEX fab. How did they double their HEX fab? So the fees collected in the Treasury from the buy tax are used to buy HEX, guys. That's putting continuous buy pressure on a Richard Hart core token known as PHEX. This creates consistent buying pressure on HEX. The purchased HEX may then be used to buy Sparta tokens, no expectations. And these Sparta tokens might then be sent to the dead address where they are permanently burned and can never be sold again. That I like. This is a good ecosystem. Okay, it's a great ecosystem. And I'm making the pivot to broadcast and talk about projects like these that are going to put the buy pressure on HEX, especially at these bottoms and during tough times and red days. And the opportunity that you have here being early, which I believe is early, not a financial advisor, but for me personally, is just, I couldn't pass. And I'm going to be excited every time I make a new purchase. And when I see people buying and selling too, seeing the magic that happens with the buy pressure of HEX and the Treasury growing. So I'm going to be watching the Treasury. I'm sure a lot of people are too, right? You can watch it on chain. You can watch it on their website as well. You can see the Treasury here, the amount that's in HEX. I wonder if the UI keeps up with like a refresh. If I refresh and like someone bought, if it changes, possibly. Sometimes they're not up to speed, up to date. But hey, I'm sold on it, right? I'm sold on it. I absolutely love what they put together here. And now I look at other things like, okay, volume, people talking about it. There's not a lot of people talking about it. The reason why the opportunities can be so much better than they are during other periods in time is because the crowd has their focus elsewhere during certain periods of time. And there's a lot of focus right now on other tokens and excitement and big influencers talking about them, right? While they're in the background, you know, what lies dormant and what has prepared for its moment where volume starts to rush in, and what that volume and traffic does for the holders and that anybody who becomes a new holder, and how rapidly they can watch their treasury not only grow, right, but see the increase in HEX buy pressure, see the deflationary aspects kick in as more wallet holders and trading takes place. It's the calm before the storm. It really is. And I think that from what a lot of things I see going out on there, right? People want to make money right now. The pump tires tokens, this token, that token. There's a lot of things out there. There's a lot of options. People will find their way here. They will find their way here. I think a lot of people are going to start making this pivot to like core tokens. Richard Heart's being a lot louder now. Since it's officially been the fact he defeated the SEC in court. Okay. Which gets me back on track, right? He's been very like silent for a couple years, just like hidden messages in his tweets. Now he's just like back to Richard out there shouting out, calling out people, saying it how it is style environment. I think he's going to start reminding you, like, don't sleep on my coins, right? And he can't stop people from going into altcoins, but sure as hell believe if it's in an environment, an ecosystem of a token like Sparta and its web, that by Hart's law is connected to all the cores and supports HEX and has its main pair is HEX and its secondary pools, Pulsechain. When the time comes, tides will rise together, and we've seen that happen on chain before through the Atropa webs. We've seen what price appreciation does to these assets that have these taxes, but in a hyper deflationary environment like this token has with the Treasury system built in, and it being the bottom. Holy smokes. It's time to cook. It's time to cook. So don't forget, guys, you're going to want to go and click on all their website, Twitter, join their Telegram if you haven't joined it. I might hop in there at some point, right? Definitely want to follow them on Twitter. Do your research, right? Go determine if you do think this is early for you. Understand the different LP pools, the arbitrage, the different prices you have between these pools. You come here and you type in the contract address, you may see like a small difference in price at this point. Sometimes, some days, some moments, it may be a bigger spread. The R bots will clear the gaps. Continuous volume would happen because of that. So really, all one has to do is buy and hold and wait for time to come. And PPO, patience pays off. I can't wait to see what happens in this community. Do that research. Don't forget to pound the like button. Till next time, we shall do it again. Yeah, dog.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Crypto talk with Thomas G. Yeah, dog. Bringing heat. Mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including E.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including got me on Avex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zoopy on Phantom, I got a few nodes. Sticking my Rex, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including E.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including